going up against the Redskins. So with that, let's get right out to the stadium. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis have the call on this Week 4 matchup.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
First carry now for Rob Kelly. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. A gain of 3, second down. First offensive series forthcoming. Deshaun Jackson, wide receiver that certainly needs no introduction in this league.
He's truly one of those don't blink guys, because as soon as you do, he's past you and in the end zone and doesn't mind letting you know about it too.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. Shift together here from the D-line. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. This one complete to Jordan Reed. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
All right, here we go.
They'll hand it off to Kelly. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Sean Lee is a linebacker with an exciting mix of tackling ability and coverage skills.
Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. Second down, Cousins. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Play fake here on 1st down. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They'll get 19 yards there. And that leads to a Washington 1st down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A give. This is Kelly. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
They'll keep it in the hands of Kelly. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. On third down, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And then look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here. They go to Elliott again. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Give them 11 on the gain there, and the Cowboys are going to get a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
Prescott on first down. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's brought down. So not much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 and the 34.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control.
Inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there. Set of downs.
Well, they're certainly running the ball pretty well on this drive, and all I remember as a secondary guy was if you're making a lot of tackles in the game, that's usually not good for your defense. You've got to figure out how to keep things in front of you because you know there's 3 levels, defensive line, linebackers, and into the secondary. And if the 3rd level is leading your team in tackles, as a general rule, things aren't going so well for your defense. It looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
On second down, Elliott. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
the best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Here's Prescott, and he fires one, but incomplete. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And the Cowboys will call on Dan Bailey here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So after slogging through a scoreless first quarter, we have action on the scoreboard. A field goal makes it 3-0.
Well, with these two offenses, we weren't going to stay 0-0 forever, were we? I'm not sure that this opens the floodgates, but I doubt that's the last scoring we're going to see.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Well, the drive starts with Rob Kelly, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Randy Gregory in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Fielded at about the 28. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. And he finds his target, Terrence Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
– 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. No touchdown scored yet so far.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Prescott looks to throw on first. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Snap count threw the defense off. 5-yard penalty.
Encroachment defense.
So they're operating in the red zone. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Redskins scoop it. The big fella. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, the 20, 10. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for him.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Here coming up. So he missed his lone field goal try, but he's got this one as that extends their lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust.
And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams as the first half is winding down. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now back onto the field. Here comes the Cowboys defense. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense who said, all right, appreciate it, guys. And they took the ball downfield and stuck it in the end zone.
And that defense wasn't out there long. They'll be trying to keep it short here. They'll start on the ground with Kelly. Ooh, with a juke. Give him a couple on the carry there. Second and time. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Both teams have had their moments so far today, and that's why we have a tight game on our hands. We'll have to see if either side can take control in the second half. All right, let's roll those highlights. Redskins line up at the 46. Coverage breaks down here, and that connection will lead to a gain of 19 yards. Redskins would later miss the field goal try. Cowboys line up at the 46. Butler is found on the quick pass and catch, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 27-yard line. Continuing on the drive, we're going to get a fumble here. Redskins would pick it up and score. Redskins go up by 4. Now 1st and 10, Williams able to haul in the contested pass. After the long pass, he'll score. They go ahead by a field goal.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half, of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
And a neutral zone infraction on the defense.
The defense thought they had the timing count on the quarterback's cadence, but they jumped too soon.
Prescott to throw it. Caught left side, Williams. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. And he'll get it up the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And that leads to a Dallas first down.
So much for halftime adjustments by the defense, because you know they had to talk about it. The entire first half, they struggled to contain him. And here he is coming out in the second half and establishing the same tone. Still running the football with authority, still gaining big yardage. So I just figure on the offensive side, they said there is no adjustment. Until they slow us down, keep going at them, keep handing them the football. And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front, because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
This is Elliott. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. Now Prescott, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Jeff Swain, the intended receiver, and it brings up 4th down. But pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The defense for the Cowboys getting set to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there. And it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They come out here in the eye. They'll go again with Kelly. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll try and run for it with Kelly. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40.
Holding offense.
Here's Tressway now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
That confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it'll be first down, Cowboys.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got toe tap and foot drop.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jude I.J. Barima. And they have the football and will take over at the...
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the deep to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Randy Gregory. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Cousins now on second down. Jackson's got it over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. So a 3rd and 8.
Right. He's tied right here. He's tied on the right. Here we go now. Blue 90.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And this one is incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and it's 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Taken in at the 22. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. The give is to Elliott. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Prescott now. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. 11 yards on the pickup, and the Cowboys are set up now with a 1st and goal. And the confidence from last week carrying over to this week.
2 weeks in a row, and I have to admit, last week, I thought they were going to really struggle running the football. I thought that they had a real challenge on their hands, and they more than met it and created big-time openings that he just absolutely hurdled through. And they figured, why not? Let's carry it forward this week. Again, the same thing. All the blocking schemes are there. I think they've really done a great job. That B-gap between the guard and the tackle has been there all game for them, and they continue to exploit it.
He's just going downhill.
Not only downhill, but with incredible, incredible force. What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding. Offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now.
Here we go.
They'll run with Elliott. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Man, a tough spot to drop that down here, 3rd and goal.
And so many times when you analyze a play like this, you talk about the people around him and maybe his focus was gone. Sometimes just simply him understanding how close he is to the end zone and a chance to score, and he tightens up and doesn't complete the play.
So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Caught on the right side, Reed. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bringing an extra defensive back. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
We got to get the stop here, D.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Let's go! 3-19!
Desperation time. Cousins on fourth down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for a strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate.
Let's go!
Prescott on 1st down. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Terrence Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And they will line up now for the 2-point try. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Cowboys defense, they march back out onto the field. They have played a really good game. They're just looking for one final stop here and celebrate this victory.
And if you're on offense, you don't want them to have that satisfaction. You know that you're not going to win the game, but you don't want them to roll in with those big grins on their faces. So you want to come up with something right here, some type of a big play to dent that good mood.
And they're trying to not let that dent happen and go home happy. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
And on 2nd and 10 now. the gun. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. That second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now. And they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Jordan Reed has it. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Cousins. And this is incomplete.
Holding, offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
To throw is Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So the roughing the passer penalty, 15 yards, and Charles, the defender, needs to know to stop there.
We've been talking about it for years. You essentially get 1 step after the quarterback throws his pass. Anything close to that or beyond that, you're going to get flags.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And Reed with it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And now they're in the hurry-up. First down. Here's Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And now the offense operates in the red zone. They'll throw again. Cousins into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
A nickelback added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Prescott to throw it. Backing up. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. The Cowboys will go. Prescott, deep drop. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Were you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Cowboys, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Landover.